Welcome back, guys, to the second video, and a lot's happened. So I'm excited to show you this. Actually, didn't take long. So I should have made this video probably about 3-4 days ago, but our new baby boy's here. Mum and baby are all right. So sleepless nights. So yeah, I'm absolutely overjoyed. But yes, things are moving very fast. So here we go. I'm about to show you what we've got now. Oh, right. Here we go. Nice, lovely, wet day. But this is our little unit. Fully locked in. It's about 1,600 square feet, which is spot on for what we want, to be fair. Like I say, fully safe and secure. Quite a bit of landing space. So, got quite a bit. Sorry, the wind's terrible. This is the only sticking point, but it's enough room to get a forklift in. So yeah, like absolutely buzzing. Anyone fix a leak? Yeah, so exciting times. We signed a lease on this a couple of weeks ago. We've moved into a certain point. Are you ready? So there we are. We've kind of moved in. So all the stuff that was in my garage, basically, I've moved here. And noticed a little puddle on the floor here. Yeah, so I've moved on all the stuff from my garage. This is 1,600 square feet, which is ideal for what we want and the products we want to make to start with. We're going to be looking at about £900 a month, plus VAT. So that's the only thing I need to work out. Is it worth going back registered straight away with the products that we're going to make and with the cost of the materials? We will see. So I need to sit down and do some calculations on that. Obviously, we're just about to, well, I'll get onto that in a minute. Yeah, so we've basically got a bay door all the way down, the whole thing on one side, which my father-in-law wants to get into making fence panels. And I think for his level of skill at the moment, that's about right. So we've just had a rep here this morning, the second rep that we've been in contact with, and he's coming back to us with some prices on fence panels. The first rep that we've had prices on fence panel material, he's come back to us, and we've just asked him to come back with a better price, because we've got a target price that we want to hit. So yeah, so we're just waiting for prices. Obviously, finding companies that want to deal with you is not always easy, and it's one of those things where you just got to keep plugging away at it. We're not big enough to order massive amounts of docks yet, let's say, but we want a big enough order, especially on the fence panel stuff, that we might want, I don't know, an accumulative of 8-9 cube of timber, maybe more. So yeah, so that's going to be one product that we're going to be selling from here. And then the next product that we're going to be selling to get us started is going to be your basic side gates, garage doors, and main entrance gates. So quite a big market in the UK, a huge market in the UK actually. And we're going to be selling these through different avenues like eBay, Etsy. I'm just on with setting that up now and getting that sorted, ready for the new year. So we're going to do everything from the basics, from the real basic stuff, all the way up to the more expensive stuff. We've got a sawmill supplier for hardwoods locally to us. So yeah, and I've got hundreds and hundreds of pictures of all this work that I've done before. So we're going to use them. That does very noisy, isn't it? But to be expected because it's like a storm outside. So yeah, the unit. Let's get back to the unit. So let me just explain that. So they're the products that we're going to start with. Yeah, and that doesn't mean they're the products that we're going to stick with, but they're what we're going to start with because I know they will sell. And obviously, there's an endless supply like the storm now. There'll be fence panels, garage doors, gates, all sorts that break and need replacing. So we can also offer a fit and install service to start with as well. But we're going to sell all over the UK. So now we need a courier that's going to send these, which I also know. So yeah, we've got a plan, and now it's set it in motion. And we believe that all this will be started probably, you're looking at about 15, 16 grand for all this, machines, workshop, materials. Yeah. So it's not like you start a company that you're just starting up out your shed. You know, we've got a plan. I don't just want to do these. You know, I want to make bespoke items, show you guys how they're made, the process of how we make them. You know, whether it's table, benches, you know, do some epoxy work. Never done epoxy work, but we'll have a go. So yeah, we want to do some bespoke stuff, maybe sell them through YouTube, you know, to you guys if you guys are interested. But yeah, so this is the plan and how we're going to tackle it. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. We're gonna go on a massive journey. So yeah, company's registered. We did end up going with Woodline Timbers, and there's a big load of space around the side there, and I'd love to at some point maybe even start selling timber. So yeah, your plywood, your joinery grade, or structural carcassing, stuff like that. I think it'd just be another arm to the business. We don't want to stick with one particular product. We want different avenues bringing in money that's going to make money. So we're also going to look at maybe your pub benches. We've got a dip treatment tank being built currently as well, so we can treat all our own products. Yeah, we've literally, although baby's just arrived, we've been working tirelessly behind the scenes to make sure that we can get everything together. And I think in less than a month, we've found machines. So I'll update you on that on the next video. We've found a full workshop, and that full workshop of machines are all ideal 240 machines. They're all Woodworking and Sedgwick, the older kind of like 1980s stuff, the bulletproof stuff. Come from a chap that I know that luckily for me he's just decided that he's going to retire. So yeah, we've just purchased a whole workshop setup. So we're talking 2-bag extractor, rip saw, cross cut, spindle moulder, mortise and tenon, bandsaw. What am I missing? Planer thicknesser. I don't know if I just said that. Yeah, so we've literally got a full setup, and we was looking around because the chap wanted me to give him an offer, which when a friend says give me an offer for something, how awkward is it? Because you don't want to feel like you're ripping him off, do you? But you want the best value price that you can get. So these machines have been looked after massively. You would not believe, when you see them, you would not believe the condition of most of them. And the guy's a perfectionist that we're buying them off. So I went away and I came up with a figure, secondhand from eBay, just using eBay, and some of the internet, but getting estimates of machines that are roughly the same or the exact same. And the estimate came out at about 3,400 for these 240 machines. Because if you don't know, 3-phase machines are expensive compared to single phase, just because of the motors, basically. So yeah, so I'm going to try put this on its tripod actually, and then maybe. Oh, right, there we go. Yeah, so basically, I give him a price of, I thought what was reasonable, between 4,500 for all these machines. He came back to me and said that he wanted more like 6,000. So I said, well, I don't feel like, I want to rip you off. I said, but these are the pictures that, that I've documented, that these are the prices that we can buy them for, buy it now prices off eBay. So he went away for half an hour, had a think, and he come back to me and said, Steve, I've known you a while. I want it to be a good deal for you as well. And he said, no, you've showed me without reasonable doubt that these machines are worth at least 4.5. He said, so I'll accept 4.5 under the one condition. So I was like, here we go. Go on then. One condition ended up being, we make him an entrance door to one of his garages, entrance door and frame, to one of his garages for the tooling. Why not? We'll do that. And there's hoodles of tooling. There's, 2 or 3 of each, mortise and tenon chisel, 3 bevel blocks, like groovers. I'll show you. It's mental how much stuff this guy's got. So yeah, I really landed on my feet, and it was only because I contacted a friend, a tool sharpener. Now, if anybody knows a tool sharpener as a friend, you will know that these guys go in and out of every workshop. They know every joiner, they know every manufacturer, they know everybody. So they're a great contact to have. And he rings me back within half an hour of me contacted him, say that I'm going to set up again. And he's like, Steve, found you some machines if you're interested, but I don't know if you can get them to December. Let's have a look, see what the crack is. One little visit, big smile, it was like kid in a sweet shop, Hardest, like I said, the hardest thing was trying to figure out how much to pay him. Because £6,000's a good amount of money, but you don't want to just give people money for the crack, we're in business here, we need to be practical as well. And I think we probably paid him about right, although we can get these machines off eBay and the internet for 3.5, let's say. These machines have been well looked after. They're all in one place, and I can literally just drive around the corner to pick them up. It's not far, 20 minutes down the road maximum. So the value of doing that compared to running all over the country, picking up machines, it just fell into place. And this is why we've got a great feeling about this. Everything's falling into place. So yeah, so next video we'll go through machines, we'll go over each machine, give a little introduction to them, I guess, and try work out how we're going to fit them in here and the layout. So that the back door creates a bit of complication because we don't want to shut that off if that fence is going to get moved at the back. The forklift can get in and out now currently, and we can bring packs of feather edge board and stuff in there. But we don't want to put a cross-cut bench across the back if we need to be in and out there. So I can put the cross-cut bench across there and possibly, create a cantilever table or something like that, or a folding table so we can get in and out when we want. But obviously the workshop layout is going to be determined by that door. And that door is the only door that the forklift can come in and out of. And the reason that we're getting a forklift, which we've also just bought, well, we haven't paid yet, but I'm just waiting for the invoice, but I went to view it yesterday, is we don't want to be off handling timber manually here. And then we don't want timber getting dropped on an IAB truck, and we're then having to handball it in this weather, you know, like. So we've just found a forklift, and for a 3.3 ton forklift, we've paid what, 3,700 with delivery. Again, it's worth its weight in gold, isn't it? And this isn't like your traditional startup, but we'll give you ideas, and like as we're starting, because you can make some of these gates the way that we're going to make them in your shed. You know what I mean? In your garage, it's easy. I've got 2 or 3 different methods of a profile range in cost of how to produce a gate. So yeah, and we'll show you how we make jigs, templates, all that sort of stuff. Get it up and running. So yeah, so back to the unit anyway. So we've got machines. Yep, we've got a forklift. We've got a compressor, which we just won on auction that I need to go pick up at some point very soon. We've now got the workshop. The last thing that we really need to create production and start, is material, which we're working on. And then we now need an outlet to sell. So, we've started Facebook, Instagram, we're on with eBay. I'm going to look at Etsy. I might even look at a Shopify shop to, get the product out there. But what I would like to do is start making some bespoke products for one-off customers, a nice dining table, a nice lounge table, a nice different kind of bench or something, a whiskey cabinet, something along them lines, something that's not like high-end, low-end production kind of materials, keep the channel going, keep the channel alive. So if you guys got any ideas, stick them in comments for us. We can maybe look at that. I'll take you to the sawmill. We'll have a video diary of the sawmill, because it's absolutely amazing. If you've never been to a sawmill, get yourself to a sawmill. Like, they were making oak timber frames there, like, which is something that I've done in the past, and I don't know, it just gives me such a great feeling, like seeing all that and how it's produced, and it's a labour of love, and joinery is a labour of love. You've got to love doing this, because it can take hours to manufacture and produce something that you might not even be happy with. So obviously practically we've got to look at this as a business as well. So we need a couple of products that are going to keep turning fence panels over, and we looked to keep this place going with one person's wages, pay the overheads on the building. There's no rates on this building either, so that's great. We probably need to sell about 240 fence panels a month, and that'll just keep everything ticked over. That's not allowing for electrical out, but it does give a little bit of profit in there, so that'll cover everything for us, and keep everything within budget. And then what I'll do on the gate side and the bespoke kind of stuff, we'll just add that will cover me, and then just add to obviously the overall profit and sustainability to the company. I don't think I actually pointed out, which I will, which I was absolutely so happy with when I came in here. We have got a full airline system that goes out the wall all the way down to the end on both sides. And we've got a compressor tank there. And I think what we're going to do with a new compressor is eventually hook it up to that one, so that the whole system is pressurized by that tank, plus the tank generating it, and that will be an unbelievable amount of air pressure in here. So I'm not sure if that's possible, but the compressor that we've got, I think it's 7 foot long. But you've got to think when you're firing, I'm just seeing if I've got one out. I haven't. I think these things are nail guns. Yeah. So when you're firing nail guns, you know, these are taking a decent amount of pressure off every hit. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, so you've got to think practically, and if you're able to, why wouldn't you go for a slightly better tank if you can from day one? So yeah, so the unit as well, brand new electric, brand new lights, full setup there, ready for 3-phase machines. So hopefully we can get a, you know, year down the line, whatever, we can get hopefully a decent planer. Get, you know, rather than having a planer joint, planer thicknesser, we can hopefully get a 6-7 headed planer, so that, you know, we can maybe start machining up all our own products as well from day one. Get a dust extractor that can have a bin. That's the dream, you know. And I always say, you've got to dream big, you've got to, because that's what keeps you going, and it keep like your eye on the prize, eye on the goal. You know, if you want to start building chopping boards, like end grain chopping boards, which I think I'm gonna put one on here anyway. I'm gonna build one. But if you start building chopping boards, end grain chopping boards, and selling them, you know, that's a dream, that's a goal. So you've got to keep pushing yourself, otherwise you'll stay stagnated and you'll not keep going. You know what I mean? So I've always been a believer of that. Keep pushing yourself, keep going. So yeah, so this unit is so good, and it was one of the ones that we viewed, and my father-in-law found it. And I walked through the door and switched on the lights, and we just knew that this was the one. This was the unit. So we're going to plan to, where the entrance door is here, we're going to plan at some point over the next year to put an office straight across here, probably just this side of that window. So we've got an office space, a workspace that's warm and content, where we can have lunch, stuff like that, wash our hands. And then the rest of it's going to be machine shop at the bottom, and then up this area up here for assembling. And then hopefully out one of these doors, or the back door, for the courier to take all the deliveries away. So yeah, so a lot's happened in a short space of time, guys, and I think that just shows progression. And we're very excited to keep bringing you these videos and keep driving forward and showing you our progress and how we do this. And hopefully, you know, we've got maybe another 3-4 weeks and we'll start manufacturing. Maybe not. Obviously, we need to get some benches knocked up and get the machines in. So what I might do with the machines is when we do that video, we'll go through it. I might not fully install them properly. I might just plug them in so we've got them, and then work out a layout from there. Obviously, because so say we're manufacturing a side gate. Obviously, from rough sawn and the matchboarding, we need to cross cut, and then from the cross cut, we're going to go to planer thicknesser. From the planer thicknesser, we're going to go to spindle molder. From the spindle molder, we're then, you know, going to go to tenon or mortiser, depending, you know, which way around. We might go mortiser, tenon, then spindle molder, depending on the grade of gate that we're going to make. So yeah, I mean, I might add a couple of little videos or pictures just at the end, just like little collards to show you some of the products that we're going to make, and the products that I've made in the past. But we need to make them now in here. You know, we're going to do hardwood gates, hardwood garage doors, softwood gates, softwood garage doors. And there's a high-end business, high-end margin for that, for wanting to build them, and there's a big market for them as well in the right places. So that's where the website marketing, YouTube marketing, that's where it's all going to come from. So yeah, so that's the unit, guys. I'm absolutely freezing, I'm not going to lie. Left the door wide open like a nugget, and so yeah, I don't think there's much more to say on that. I think the next video will be machines, and we'll bring the machines in. I can only get so many machines on Monday, and then I think the ripsaw, the planer thicknesser, and the extractor will be then coming toward the end of the month, which was part of the deal that was struck. And yeah, I'm so excited. I can't wait. I've missed being in the workshop so much. So yeah, any ideas? Like, subscribe, comment below. Give us your ideas of products that you'd like to see made. Maybe you'd like a product made. Maybe you could be the first customer for an epoxy table, which, like I said, that'll give us an excuse to go to the woodyard, then to the sawmill, and show you how much timber is in these units. Like, unbelievable. Left air drying. There's stuff there that's probably older than me, that I think we could make some great bespoke furniture out of. I don't know if anybody that's watching this has ever come across it. I'd love to make a live edge kitchen worktop flow through for somebody. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? But yeah, anyway, so we're going to leave it there, because there's so much that I could talk about, like where we're getting rid of all the excess material or the shavings. Like, there's so much to starting this up that you don't realize. And I think, yeah, next video will be machines coming in, and I think the video after that will be like, right, where's the marketing, how we're getting on eBay, what products we're putting on there. There's an eBay limit on the products that you put up, so you can only put certain products up. How we're then selling them to the customer, how we're machining them up, what we're machining them, the jig that we're building them, how we're sending them. There's so much. So keep coming back, keep watching. Yeah, let me know your comments, like I say, below. I've been keeping up with them so far, so I appreciate every single one of you guys. And yeah, keep it up, wood gods. Love you all.